No. Alright, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you like this video, no, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna make the video. My answer is no, but I'm gonna tell you why. So, the Kansas City Chiefs have declined the fifth-year option on Clyde Helaire. And it makes a lot of sense. They have Isaiah Pacheco as their main running back, and they have used a pluffalob, words in the English language. They've used a lot of other running backs that have been very successful for them outside of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So, with injuries, ups and downs, they just simply were a better running offense without him. They actually ran the ball more efficiently when he was not in the lineup. Even in the Super Bowl, they didn't even use the guy. So, it makes perfect sense. They're not going to pick up the fifth-year option because they're going to let this guy go. He's going to be cut and moved on. And right now, if any team wants him, probably Kansas City is taking absolutely anything possible for him. Because they just want him off the roster to get some kind of draft capital back. Now, what does that mean for Cincinnati? Well, Cincinnati could get him for a 7th-round pick, probably. Probably almost absolutely nothing. But it just doesn't really make sense to me in any way possible. Reason why I say that is because, first off, I don't really think he's that amazing. Again, like I said, in the 3 years he has played for KC, even KC said, nah, we're done with you. And he was a formal first-round pick running back, right? So, you look at his career, 13 games played his rookie year, 803 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was actually pretty decent in the receiving game. 297 yards and 1 touchdown, 36 receptions. Second year, played 10 games, 517 yards and 4 touchdowns. Third year, he's played 10 games again, 302 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's pretty meh. And there are running backs on free agency I like way better than him at this moment in time, who probably you can sign for less money than his contract for his 4th year. And those running backs include Zeke Elliott, Kareem Hunt. Even if you wanted to, you could even go with J.D. McKissick. Like, there's running backs out there. Now, Cincinnati did not use a high overall running back in this draft high overall pick on running back in this draft, which really opens up the question here. Are they going to 1,000% keep Joe Mixon for the future? I know Coach Taylor said that Joe Mixon is the future, but in all honesty, let's be honest, he couldn't really have said too many things in that press conference against Joe Mixon because that's not his place to speak on the matter, right? He's going to speak on the matter of, right now, Joe Mixon is the future. Because right now, he is the starting player on the roster. Will that change with his whole legal case? Absolutely. Will that change if they go and target someone else? Absolutely. At this moment in time, Joe Mixon is a starting running back. With them taking Chase Brown in the 5th round and not targeting running back higher, yes, they did go best player available, but that also speaks to the fact they might have faith in Joe Mixon. Or they might have faith that they could find better options out on free agency. I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is that guy they target. He just simply does not fit that role for me, in my personal opinion. And again, at the end of the day, Zach Taylor, Duke Tobin, they know what they're doing, right? They know they know 1,000 times better than I know. I just don't like the idea of, even if you trade him, let's say, for example, for a 7th-round pick. First off, you're also giving the Kansas City Chiefs some ammunition. I know Kansas City just gave us a 6th-round pick in our trade back scenario in the 3rd round. But still, not really too much of a fan of giving them even more options. Anyway, though, so he's a 72.7 receiving grade, 65 rushing grade, and a 67.6 overall grade. Again, like I said, he's a pretty mediocre running back. And Kansas City is just trying to get rid of this guy. Here's the biggest problem. That's fumble. F-U-M is fumble. 86.1, 51.9, and 90.6. Yeah, It's the fastest way you get off a team. Now, it's weird because they had that grade, but last season, he actually did not fumble the ball one time. That might actually be the chance of him not fumbling the football. I'm just realizing that now. Because he's only fumbled the ball twice in his career. You can see right here. And okay, so the higher the grade, the less chance of him fumbling the football. Actually, that's actually good then. That's actually a really good grade. I didn't realize that. I thought the higher the grade was a negative thing, but it's actually the higher the grade, the better. So he had 2 fumbles his second season. Did not fumble his first season or his last season. That's good. That's definitely some pluses. And again, like I said, listen, if they want to bring him in, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Just because the fact of he would cost money against the cap, and it would be a wasted player, right? Chase Brown is the backup right now to Joe Mixon. Then it goes Chris Evans and Trevion Williams, right? One of those 2 guys. They're probably going to see what they have in some of these undrafted free agents, undrafted players out of the draft, right? These free agent players. We're going to see who, maybe one of those guys, takes the job over Trevion Williams or Chris Evans. By bringing Clyde Edwards-Helaire in, this is kind of how I look at it with certain players, right? Certain players, I always say they have like a ceiling, right? Some players have ceilings, some players don't. And a lot of this does go with fantasy football too, but it also goes with real life football too. If I pick up a player, let's say for example, Julian Edelman, right? Go back to the Patriots, right? Julian Edelman. I know Julian Edelman's ceiling. Guy's going to probably go out there, catch the ball 700 yards, probably 80, 90 receptions, maybe even more than that. I mean, depending on somebody with quarterback. He's going to have probably 7 or 8 touchdowns. That's his ceiling. That's probably the most he's going to do, right? I know his floor, which is the baseline, is probably at least 600 yards, right? So his ceiling is probably 700, 800 yards. His floor is like 600 yards, right? So he's a safe player. Very safe. Then you have players who have like John Ross, when the Bengals took John Ross. His ceiling was 1,800 yards a year, 19 touchdowns, but his floor was bust. 200 yards, 0 touchdowns, right? You got the floor is like there, and the ceiling is crazy like this. What I like is having players, in all honesty, when the ceiling is crazy. But I like when they have at least a decent to medium floor. Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the Bengals, his floor, I believe, would be in the ballpark range of maybe 100 yards, 150, maybe 200 yards in a year. His ceiling, probably 500 yards. I don't want that. Even Zeke, who I do kind of think is washed a little bit, at least he would give me a ceiling of 1,000 yards plus. Maybe 1,300 yards. Zeke gives me a floor of at least 400 or 500 yards, right? I'm getting a floor of what Clyde Edwards-Helaire has given me with the ceiling, and the ceiling for Zeke is 1,300 yards. If I go get Kareem Hunt, at least with Kareem Hunt, with his receiving ability and rushing ability, I'm at least getting a ceiling, a floor, of like 750 total yards, and a ceiling of probably over 1,500 yards. The safe bet is usually what I like to go for to a certain degree. I like to have a safe bet, but I also like to have a player I can, shoot for the stars with. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire is just not that guy. So, again, like I said, will they target him? Probably not. They're not going to because there's really no reason to. If they want to target running back, there's a couple good running backs in free agency right now. June 1st is about to hit in 28 days. You know what June 1st means? The second wave of free agency. There's going to be running backs that are cut like crazy on June 1st, guys. Joe Mixon might be one of them. These running backs will be better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So, as I said in the beginning of the video, no. Absolutely, 1,000% sure, no. Let the Chiefs have their formal first-round pick be a bust and let them rot. Goodbye, Chiefs. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.